Alright. We've got S, A, B, C, D. Black Panther.
Black Panther.
I'm thinking B.
Yeah, I'd put it in B tier. Why?
Well, it's not bad.
I'm debating between B and C, to be honest.
Yeah, it might be a C, actually.
Because I'm like, it's like pretty like generic, generally speaking. Like, T'Challa's not a very interesting character.
Yeah, I like
in the movie
when he fights that guy to prove himself.
He does that like 4 times, I swear.
I like it the first time he does it.
Yeah. I like the guy who plays the villain is good.
Yeah.
And then other than that, it's kind of like, because the guy who plays Gollum's in it, but they don't use him very much.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah. The CGI doesn't look very good.
No.
Pantherland.
But it does look cool. It does have a good like set design and art department. Like, the whole of the film does look really good.
Yeah, but the CGI doesn't come off that clean. It comes off very fake looking.
To me, when it goes into C territory, is that like whole third act where he's fighting another person in the same suit as him.
Yeah.
It just reminded me loads of like Iron Man 1.
The whole war feels very like small scale.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really feel like very big.
And its themes of like family and fatherhood and all that stuff didn't really get to me.
No.
Yeah.
They got to me a bit more when I watched it with my dad on Father's Day.
Yeah.
But that was like...
So maybe when you're watching it with your dad on Father's Day, it's
a B. But generally speaking, it'll be a C.
Yeah. I think it's a C.
It's a C for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty bland as well.
Yeah.
What's chat saying? Hulk film is so terrible I always skip. I watched MCU beginning to end last summer. Got 1 hour into Hulk, then skipped. You're not allowed to skip if you're doing the marathon.
Yeah.
You've got to do it to the end.
You got to do every single one. Marathon's not for fun. It's a marathon. You know, they're meant to hurt. They're meant to be a painful process.
The soundtrack as well of Black Panther was the main thing that got us to go see it
at the cinema.
Yeah,
because we thought Kendrick Lamar had done all the music.
Yeah, we got tricked.
Because they're like, Kendrick Lamar's releasing an album, and we're like, does that mean he made the music? I think he made all the music.
Yeah, and then we were like excited to just see a movie with like a superhero movie with Kendrick Lamar doing
like
the
hip hop
music
soundtrack.
And then we got into it, and it was just generic Hollywood score music. They only used like a hip hop track for a bit.
It wasn't generic Hollywood hip hop score music though. It did have like a good set of like instruments behind it.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't.
It was like
yeah, that was cool. But I mean, it wasn't like a hip hop film.
I wanted
thought it'd
it
be
to
like
be
a giant hip hop music video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it should have said more about black culture. It should have like dug its foot deeper into it.
It should have done, yeah.
But it was good.
Despite
it's
that.
C.
Yeah.
It's
Captain
C.
Marvel.
C.
I agree.
Do
we need to get into it? I don't even think we need to.
Captain Marvel.
I would kind of rate it slightly above Black Panther, but not enough to put it on a B.
So you should put it in front of Black Panther.
Alright. Yeah.
Well, I think we enjoyed Captain Marvel when we went to see it at the cinema.
Yeah.
But I've never had the urge to like rewatch it.
It was just like watching another 80s like an 80s Samuel Jackson like kind of like action movie like cop and his partner like investigates aliens.
It did basically feel like that, and it is exactly that. It just does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah,
it doesn't go like much further than that. But
the scene with the villain when they go to the cabin was pretty good.
Yeah, and I like the whole thing with the Skrulls being like immigrants.
Yeah,
and like struggling and like reversing it, and it turns out that Captain Marvel comes from like Nazis.
Yeah, I like that too.
I thought that was a good twist, and I thought they were performed well as well. I really like how the Skrulls were like acted by that guy, the Australian guy.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm never gonna watch it again, probably.
Unless you do a Marvel marathon,
and then I have to. No skipping.
No skipping if you're doing a Marvel marathon, bro. Never skip.
Never skip.
Never skip.
Spider-Man. Is this Captain America? Spider-Man. No, this is Spider-Man. What's the Back from Home? Far From Home. Yes, this is Far From Home.
This
Right?
is the sequel.
I think that's Far From Home.
Is Far From Home on this? There's only one Spider-Man movie.
What? I thought this was current.
God damn it, Sam. Sam!
What, they don't have Far From Home on here?
Oh well.
That's
what's that?
Homecoming. I would put A, I think.
Yeah, I would as well. Probably. Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
Michael Keaton's a sick villain.
Yeah.
The bit where he turns around and threatens to kill Peter Parker is good.
In the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like
that
sick.
scene is just
best.
It's the best Spider-Man movie, I'd say. No, Spider-Man 2 is slightly better, but
They're good for different things.
Yeah.
I think like Spider-Man 2 is much cringier than.
It felt so satisfying to see like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, like after
Civil
seeing
War.
Andrew Garfield.
Oh, comatose Andrew Garfield.
What?
Ah!
America.
He's meant to be a nerd, but he goes around on a skateboard, flirts with everybody confidently.
Yeah.
Has that like
Has
cute,
a
awkward guy
sexy,
energy.
dead secret agent dad.
Yeah, who's hot.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Oh man, in the opening of the Spider-Man 2, he literally gets out a Sony Vaio, and it's like the flashback is set in like the 70s,
Really?
and it's got like a Sony Vaio logo on it. Like when the parents are in the plane, and just before it crashes, they literally get out a Sony Vaio laptop.
It's weird how many times like Sony just threw Spider-Man against the wall and hope he's stuck. Like spaghetti.
Like a spider.
They were desperate until they got to
Until they got Marvel.
until
in.
they got Venom.
Until they got Big Daddy Disney.
Yeah, and Disney told them what they needed to do to set them right, to set them on the path to success.
I'd say D because of identity politics. Their ideology and their...
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like almost all Marvel movies have a sick and depraved ideology, which I don't agree with. All of this identity, politics, finding its way into my movies. Anyway, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, C. I would put it
Below both of them.
Yeah.
It's definitely
maybe
below.
D.
I don't know if it's D. It might be, but I have to see.
It's not for Dark World.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
bad.
It's
the
not
visual
the worst.
sequences are pretty stimulating. I
Yeah.
would describe.
Yeah, I think it's like the bits when he's tripping and it's drawing from the 70s Doctor Strange comic books look great.
Yeah.
The ending is good.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like Iron Man again.
You've seen Doctor Strange like a dumb amount of times. I
Like
swear.
3
I've seen
times.
you like you've seen it like a lot,
Have
even
I?
though you don't like it that much.
I've seen it at the cinema. I've seen it in the marathon. I have seen
And
it.
you don't even like Cumberbunch.
I don't even like Cumberbunch. Cumberbunch is not even. He's not even charismatic in this as well. They're not even making him do any Cumberbatch-isms.
He's just like what even is this character? It's like stern man.
It's just like a sterner Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Is really what it is.
Yeah.
Like a stern
And then they even got what's her name, Tilda Swinton in as well.
as a bold woman.
Yeah, and she was boring.
Yeah. It's pretty boring. It's just boring,
What's
man.
the second one going to be called? Like
Into the Madness or something like
I want them to go full
Madness of the Multiverse or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, I want them to go full whack.
Well, they put madness in the title, so I think
Yeah.
they're trying to tell us.
Iron Man 1.
B.
Ooh. B? A?
Yeah, B.
A, B?
B. B.
Why not A? Oh, the ending.
It just is like
Tony! I'm your dad, Tony! Come out!
Ah!
And in the beginning, it's all like about like terrorism, and he's in the hut, and he's like, and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. This film, John Favreau.
Yeah.
And then at the end, Tony.
Iron Man seems to start as what's going to seem like kind of an intelligent, interesting movie.
Yeah.
Which might like commentate on something.
Yeah.
And then ultimately divulges into just like normal just fighting a bad guy,
Yeah.
violence,
Yeah.
that you don't even know what it's about by that
Yeah.
point. Like, you don't
Yeah.
even know why they're fighting.
But it's the one that started it, because we don't count Hulk for some reason.
Yeah, even though I would say Hulk is better.
Hulk is A tier.
Hulk is S tier.
Ed Norton is A tier. Is S. You can't stop the Norton.
You can't stop the Norton. He put in his so much into that movie.
He wrote Hulk. Yeah, I mean, I think Iron Man's pretty good. Yeah, despite the ending.
Yeah, it's B.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Iron Man 2.
That's 3, mate.
Is that? Oh,
That's
okay.
3.
Iron Man 2?
Yeah, C tier underneath Captain Marvel, like everything, but like underneath Doctor Strange.
I would argue that Iron Man 2 is better than all three of these.
Disagree. I would rather watch.
You know I'm soft on Iron Man 2.
I know you are.
That's my weak spot.
I
I
know.
like Iron Man 2.
And it's pathetic. Look, we've even got Rat Scum in the chat going Iron Man 2 is D tier.
How can
every
you
day.
say that?
See,
Iron Man 2 is my favourite Iron Man.
I'm soft on Iron Man 2 by putting it in low C tier. That's me being soft on it.
Low C. No, it's a high C.
Look, just because you like,
I will advocate
just
for
because,
it. Okay, let me
just
advocate
let
for it.
let me put my case as well, because just because you like what's the two actors who play the villains in it a lot, just because you like them, doesn't make this a good movie.
What makes it a bad movie then?
The villains aren't like that interesting really at face value. They're like
interesting to me.
It's ultimately like a lot of it does feel like it basically hits the same like beats, like narrative beats as Iron Man 2. Like,
disagree. Strong disagree.
In terms of how it's paced, like it feels
strong
like you're
disagree. It's paced entirely differently.
Iron Man 2.
Right. Okay. Iron Man 2 opens up. Yeah.
I want my board.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good scene.
Him going around just asking for his bird.
Name a scene funnier in any of these three movies.
Name it.
Then him saying that he wants his bird back.
A scene funnier in any of the three movies.
Name a scene
I've got it. The ending to Doctor Strange is funnier, like infinitely, like killing yourself over and over again in order to like annoy a god to the point where he can't kill you anymore is funnier to me than I want my bird.
I think you were supposed to say that scene is pretty cool.
No, it's comedic. They play it for laughs.
I don't remember it.
They play it for laughs, Samuel.
Well, look, it's Iron Man 2's all the race car stuff is epic.
Anything with T'Challa's sister is funnier than I want my bird.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you got me there. Can I put it? I know this doesn't mean anything, but can I just put it above Doctor Strange for no reason, other than just to have a small victory?
Yeah, alright.
Yes, I win. Iron Man 3, I think is D.
I think Iron Man 3 is better than Iron Man 2.
No, Iron Man 3 sucks.
Iron Man 3 doesn't even suck that hard.
It blows.
It doesn't even suck that hard.
The villain's lame.
The villain is as lame as the villain from Iron Man 2.
No, the guy in Iron Man 2 actually has a motivation.
Look, I can grant you. I'm happy to grant you. To a degree, like that the fire people aren't that good. Like, I'm happy to grant that to you. But the guy who played Gandhi, even though he wasn't the main villain,
Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley was still like entertaining as a performer in
What's
that
his
film.
name? What's the guy?
Mandarin. Yeah, the Mandarin. So when he's playing that actor role, and he's getting drunk and being all like gross. That's funny.
But that's not
good.
even a big part of it.
It comes about frequently enough. But additionally, I've got two more points to enforce it. Additionally, I think like it's a fun like direction to take Tony Stark's character. It's fun to be with him through that like process of vulnerability. I think that's fresh. I think that's an interesting thing to bring from the Avengers movies into his character. Even though it's retconned afterwards, kind of, basically. But in that movie, I like that it's explored. And as a final point as well, like the action sequences, like because most of it he's not in his Iron Man suit, and so I think the action sequences and how like Tony Stark goes around defeating his enemies in some ways is like kind of more interesting and like it kind of sets it apart from any other Marvel movie where it's not all like punches and kicks and like violence like that. but he's kind of like witty, like saying little traps.
The
It's a bit
action
Home
in
Alone,
Iron Man
mate.
2 is just as good.
The action in Iron Man, literally at the end of Iron Man 2, he's just like spinning around with lasers coming out
That's
of his
an
hands.
epic fight scene.
It's not. They're just like plowing through hordes
What
of
are you
enemies
talking about?
purposely.
That's so cool. That's
And
like
it was already something we'd seen in Iron Man 1.
No, they didn't have the same tech, and it's not all like one shot with it all going around. And
They did it better in Avengers anyway. They did that better.
they
in
stole
Avengers.
it off that scene
But
because it
it's
came
not
first.
Even, but it's not like Iron Man being like too scared to even go in his suit to save
But
people.
Iron Man,
is, like,
in Iron Man
interesting.
2, he literally like baits the guy to like come to his house and gives him his address, and they like blow up his whole like fucking house.
They do that in Iron Man 3. They blow up his house.
Wait,
That's
yeah.
the
Iron Man 3 they
thing.
blow up his house. All right, I'll put it in C then.
Above Iron Man 2.
No, it's not as good. That's where it belongs.
Come on, it's better than Iron Man 2.
No, it's not.
You just started using a point from Iron Man 3 as a way to enforce why it was better than Iron Man 2.
Yeah, but Iron Man 2's actually got good villains.
Iron Man 1 has Ben Kingsley and the guy who plays the main
But Ben
villain
Kingsley's
isn't
not
too
a villain
bad.
in
He's
it.
charismatic.
He's an actor pretending to be a villain.
Yeah, but he's like a
and then
fun
the
side
other guy's
character.
just like a weird billionaire.
I
who
don't think
wants
villains
to
are
make
everything in this
money.
film. Most of these films have naff villains.
No, Iron Man 2 has good villains.
Iron Man 2 doesn't even have that good of villains.
Unbelievable. Alright, I'll put Iron Man 3 over, just to shut you up.
Right, we'll just say they're on the level. But we'll leave Iron Man 3 in front. But they're about the same.
I would put Iron Man 2, like, probably here. Like, above these other ones.
What does chat say?
In Iron Man 3, he's literally there. He's held prisoner, and he goes like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you." There's gonna be like blood all over the floor, and I'm like, Iron Man's supposed to be a superhero, and he's
Oh,
like,
shut up!
talking about
What do
massacring
you like?
someone.
Virtue
And then
signaling
there's a
Tony
flashback
Stark,
to them in the New Year's Eve party.
That's a funny flashback.
No, it's
set in the
not.
90s.
It's
It's like
lame as
ironic,
shit, man.
and like getting when he literally sold weapons to terrorists, and then you're like, I can't believe he'd say your blood's gonna be all over the floor.
He
When
didn't
he
say
like killed, they beheaded Thanos. They cut his head off.
Yeah, but Thanos is like a bit different.
What? How? How is he different from Guy Ritchie?
Guy Ritchie's like experimenting.
They're all
like,
just
turning-
evil guys who want to kill people.
I don't know. I just think it's like I just think that there's nothing really good about Iron Man 3. There's like nothing.
Nothing.
No.
What about the thing that you said where you were like, well, what about when he gives his home address?
No, that
and
is
then-
actually good. But apart from that,
Well, look, Rat Scum agrees that the action sequences are sick in Iron Man 3 as well. And he agrees that you have no taste.
well, fine then. All right, 4-1.
Ah, D tier.
D. Yeah, I'm gonna straight D that too.
I'll fucking D that to the,
D
to
that
the moon, man.
Oblivion, man.
D that right to my aunt.
The scene where him and Natalie Portman are like sitting outside, and he's got this big book. And he's like, "This is where I am. This is my plane."
It's just that Chris Hemsworth acting like just like a dumb-witted like muscle man, like me love titty big, me want titty on facey is a bit much for me. I know it's like mentioned over and over again, but Chris Hemsworth's eyebrows being like bleached in this is like very off-putting for the whole movie, and that kind of leads into
They
the rest
fight a
of
giant robot, don't they?
Yeah, that's the main villain. Is
I would
like
say
Loki controlling
Loki's
a giant
cool.
robot.
Loki's a good character. Like,
Yeah, but I don't need after the first Thor. I can tell you, I didn't understand the hype around like Loki as a character like that much. To be honest, like he's very much like Tom Hiddleston, just playing like the conventional like jealous brother villain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not that. It only
love-
gets interesting
I
in
didn't
Avengers.
start liking Loki until I saw Avengers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know? So I don't even think like Thor does that to him as a character. It's set in a small town. Natalie Portman like
And her
dad. Yeah, like Chris Hemsworth
They're
hanging
getting
out
the
with
files.
like,
They
Natalie
stole all our
Portman's
files.
family is dumb.
Natalie Portman sucks in that movie as well.
She kind of sucks in all of them.
I hate Natalie Portman.
I hate her. I hate her.
She's a woman.
I hate that woman.
Sam has no taste, unsubbed, bro.
See, I told you, bro.
Oh man, 4 is entertaining enough. Entertaining enough for who? Not for us.
Yeah.
Who make the tier list?
4 is entertaining enough for idiots who don't know good movies.
Yeah. Natalie Fortman. Natalie Fotman. Natalie Beachman.
Natalie against God.
For Ragnarok, obviously. S,
yeah. I knew you were just putting that up because it's got to be S.
It's got to be S.
Thor Ragnarok is S tier. Everyone who comes out complaining about Thor Ragnarok is dumb.
You're dead to me.
You're dumb.
It's a riot. It's a run. It's non-stop action and hilarity. It balances comedy. It balances action. It's true to
has
all
a
the
heartfelt
characters.
message.
It actually makes Thor good.
Thor
It single-handedly saves
like
Thor.
Thor, who was the shittest character until now, and then goes on to become the best character. Like after Thor Ragnarok, he goes on to become the best character in Marvel overall.
Yeah, and me and Max love Hulk as well.
And we love Hulk, yeah. And obviously, like any more Hulk, any ways you can. And this is like probably, in my opinion, my favorite like version of Hulk, where he's just like a child, like a really strong, like, violent child that you have to negotiate with all the time.
That's a great, he's the best version of Hulk.
Yeah, so that's like the most entertaining version of Hulk. So actually, you got the best version of Thor. You get the best version of Marvel Hulk. You get like Taika Waititi playing characters, and he's
Kate
like
Blanchett.
really funny. Kate Blanchett fucking hamming it up like it's her birthday.
Yeah.
What more do you want? Like, what are you complaining about? Come on, just fucking like the movie. Jeez.
Just agree with us.
Come to our side.
For Dark World, S. No.
It's better than Thor 1, I think.
Because of Chris Eck and Loki.
Both of those things. Yeah, I think Loki is better in this. I think I think that's the only thing of value in this film.
I watched the Dark World once.
I've seen it like this is the one I've seen like a weird amount of times. I've seen this about 4 times, 4 or 5. I've seen Dark World.
Yeah, I saw it once with you, and it was so bland though. I can actually remember scenes from Thor 1.
So for me, like, I can't remember scenes from Thor 1 as well. Like, the only thing of merit is like Loki, because this is where Loki becomes a more anti-hero character.
The boat and something happens.
Yeah, exactly. That's they have like a conversation about like their dad or their mum. Like they have a conversation with each other, and it's those are the only sequences that I think are good. One, because Chris Evans is Chris Hemsworth is a good actor, and when he can work with good material that is good,
isn't he just like a weird ghoul?
Like, who?
Christopher Eccleston.
No, I was talking about Chris Hemsworth.
Oh right.
No, Christopher Eccleston is a weird ghoul. So when they have like moments together, and this is the film where like Loki is basically an anti-hero the whole way through, so he's not a bad guy, he's not the antagonist. They kind of work together
as brothers,
and I think that's like a bit more interesting than fighting Loki.
So it's still D.
It's still fucking D. Still send it to the D.
Send it straight to the D. Incredible Hulk. C.
Yeah. C. Strong. Probably better than all the. I probably prefer it over both Iron Man.
Like Black Panther's probably better.
Yeah.
It goes there.
I bet people are like, "What the fuck?"
And then Iron Man 2 goes like.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! You do really feel like you're doing Iron Man 2 day.
I do. It's so good. Iron Man 2 is generally like one of my favourites.
Do you want to try and put you haven't tried to put a case for it yet. Do you want to?
Well, I don't know. I like how it goes all around the world, and it feels like a really like long movie. Like it feels really epic in comparison to the first one, which feels like quite small. And the third one for me is like, I don't know. The second one has like the coolest suit as well. I like the suitcase suit like a lot, and I like the crystal that like melts people. I like him trying to build a new element and doing loads of like sciencey shit. And then I like him with Nick Fury, like learning about his dad, and having a fight scene and the whole stuff with the War Machine. Like it all like works for me. Like there's no parts of Iron Man 2 that I feel like are really bad. Like, and all of it's quite like fun.
So you want to put it on B tier?
No, I want to put it in front of Hulk.
Because you're talking like a B tier. I don't think it should go in front of Hulk. I don't think
because Hulk is lame in a lot of ways, but then it's
kind of lit in other ways. Though there are things about Hulk that are kind of lit that I think like people underestimate.
Yeah.
Like firstly, like Edward Norton's performance of Ben.
Has Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley. Ben Banner, is it?
Ben Banner.
What's his name?
Mark? No. Steve?
Steve Banner. Anyway.
How do we not know his name?
I don't know. Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner, yeah.
Edward Norton's performance of Bruce Banner is like not conventional by a lot of stretches, but like it's actually quite good. I think it's like an interesting take on the character. Him like controlling his breathing through meditation, all that
shit.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that is
and
like
a heart monitor.
That's actually like a grounded representation.
And I like
of
him
Hulk
in Asia as well.
Yeah, like hiding out is like Brazil or
wherever he is.
But
not
like,
Britain.
But that gives you like a more grounded sense of what the experience of Hulk is, which you don't get in the other movies, and I think that's like interesting. Really funny Stan Lee cameo, which is dumb, I know, but like drinking Hulk blood is funny. The villain Tim Roth is like not too bad, I think. Like his build up in terms
Abomination.
Abomination. Like I think like because he gets all his bones crushed by Hulk, and then he's like really out for vengeance. Like he's really out to get.
But it is boring.
It is, yeah. I think it needs to go lower, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it might be D.
I don't think it's D. I think it's like. I think because I'd still prefer Hulk over Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't. Yeah, I would. I probably would. Yeah.
And because I think the action is cooler with the Hulk actually. Like them when they get fighting on the streets, they're a bit fucking cartoony. But
yeah, I still prefer Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yeah, Ang Lee's Hulk is better. Than this Hulk for sure.
No, it's not good by any stretch. But Ed Norton, just respect. Respect him. What's this one? Is this Avengers?
Endgame.
Is this They've got Endgame.
Yeah.
Okay. Endgame.
B.
Endgame B.
No, maybe A.
Yeah, I think it might. Which part is this? Is this part 2?
Yeah, this is part 2. Infinity
Let's do
War.
both of them. Let's put both of them next to each other so we know where things stand. Is that part 1?
That's part 1.
Yeah. Which did you like more, part 1 or part 2?
I think part 1 is a better movie.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it more.
Yeah, do you think part 1 is A tier?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Because they're kind of like two halves of the same movie, so it feels weird to rate one above the other. I feel like they both deserve the flaws of the second one should be considered in ranking the first one because it's not a complete story. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I hear you. So you just rate it as one film, as a whole thing.
Yeah,
that's hard to do though.
It's a long movie. I think both of them are better than Iron Man 1, and I think they might be as good to better than Homecoming.
I think they're better. I think Infinity was better than Homecoming, but I don't think you should divide them.
All right.
No, I don't think they should be divided though.
All right then. That.
Yeah. Yeah. Top of A tier. I think that makes sense. Like that makes sense.
Because they've got problems, and
but they're also
they are a bit too glitzy.
Yeah, and actually like the payoff, it's fun. It's good. It works. It's just like a lot of movie, and like so there's so many bits that don't always work.
We went to like the midnight screening, like in the middle of midnight as soon as it came out, and we did the first one, then the second one, and we just came out and we were like, that was a lot to take in.
Yeah, it was, and that's the problem is that Endgame ramps it up. So the problem with thinking of them as like a set together is like you watch Infinity War and then like Endgame revs it up even further. It doesn't really give you any breaks as one singular movie.
Yeah, because it's like you're like you finish the first one, you're like fuck, why? And then you go into the second one, it's like whoa, here we go again.
yeah. What is happening? So like, you know, as like a singular movie, it becomes like it's actually just like singularly quite just an exhausting experience.
Yeah, I feel like you could cut together like a really good movie out of the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what, like, would you, does that benefit it? The problem is, like, Avengers Infinity War is just like a collection of really great superhero action sequences, and then everyone dies.
Yeah.
And then Endgame is like,
It's not doing a lot with the story.
and then Endgame's like a totally different thing, which is like super plot heavy, and it's just like a wacky time travel story, where like people go
Actually,
away.
selling me part 2 quite a lot right now.
yeah. But then the sequences that they revisit don't really pay off as like well as I want them to. Like, even though it all seems very wacky at face value, like, what do you end up getting? You get like Captain America like fighting himself.
Yeah.
You get like Thor having a breakdown like with his mum.
Didn't like that.
Which wasn't great.
Not a fan of that.
You get
Bruce Banner Hulk combo.
Yeah,
quite like that.
No, that's entertaining. But I'm thinking about like, what's these time travel sequences?
Where's the emotional core?
You get the sacrifice.
What's it about?
You get the
here?
sacrifice thing with Hawkeye and Black Widow, like trying to kill themselves. They have that.
But I
sequence.
don't care about either.
But I
of
don't
them.
give a shit.
Yeah.
So I don't. It doesn't really bother me that much. And then they come together, and then you get what? And then you get what's
Iron Man having a kid, and then
yeah, and that's kind of not that
and
great.
dying.
And dying.
Iron Man dies.
Well, then it all comes together in the final action. So they all do their little missions, and they're relatively successful. Oh yeah, but then they have Hulk, interesting science Hulk. Then all they make him do is end up negotiating with Boldy from Doctor Strange. That's all he does in the end. He doesn't do anything, and then like clicks the fingers.
He's in the robot.
No, that's in Infinity War.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
No, I'm talking about Endgame. I'm talking about the time travel missions everyone went on Endgame, and whether those are the right kind of payoffs in terms of like, the content. Because I find them all to be kind of whelming ultimately.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's more like.
And then it comes together in like a cool action sequence where they fight Thanos, but they've already fought him, so it's like that doesn't feel as like we know he's gonna die at that point. So. I don't know.
Maybe
What's chat say?
Yeah. Endgame was just 3 hours of fan service. First 4 films in D. Christ. First one is at least a C. No, it's not.
No,
it's not though. We have spoken. Sam, but none of those things line to mesh together in a satisfying way. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Avengers, the first one. A or S?
S.
I think it's S.
That's the second
First one.
Avengers.
Is it?
Yeah, and that's C.
B?
No, C.
No, it's just straight.
It's straight trash!
I can't even. I think it's there though, right?
What, the best of C?
Yeah. It's good. I like the scene where they're trying to pull the hammer.
I think both Black Panther and Captain Marvel are probably better. Yeah, that's the only scene that's good though. After that, it's Avengers 1 again.
Yeah, I won't contest that at all because I don't care about Age of Ultron in the slightest. Civil War. B, I think.
Yeah.
I would put it there.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Civil
I like
War
the airport
scene, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, the airport
Ant-Man.
fight scene. It's fun seeing the superheroes fight against each other. Captain America and Iron Man fight at the end is good as well.
Yeah.
The villain idea is kind of good. It actually has some of the more visceral action sequences in it, to be honest, because there's really loads of hand-to-hand stuff.
Yeah.
Which I like enjoy. Black Panther's introduction. Black Panther is cooler in Civil War than he is in the original movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it sounds good.
Maybe do you think it's above Iron Man 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Civil
Why is
War.
it? It's not an A though.
It's not an A. No, it's definitely
and
not.
it's not an A because
it's not an A because it's
Scarlett
just like,
Johansson
isn't fit enough. It's not an A because like ultimately it's kind of bland. It's kind of like it is also kind of like it's not that like unique. It's not like Guardians of the Galaxy like really stands out, for instance.
Yeah.
As a narrative.
Yeah, I don't know. It is a bit. It is a bit
that.
like. It is a bit bland for an Iron Man movie and for a Captain America movie.
Yeah, it's all very espionage-y, and it's like maybe a bit more superhero.
I think they need to do what they did to Thor. Oh well, Captain America's dead now, but He never really got to be
he
interesting.
did
Oh yeah,
get
he
the
did.
thing in
Winter Soldier, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, probably,
Yeah,
mate. Why not?
I think it's there. Yeah.
Winter Soldier's paying.
Winter Soldier is kind of when Captain America's cool, but like.
Basically, I think like Winter Soldier is like a really good
But I
like
think-
Marvel rendition of like a good spy espionage movie. It has all the Civil War has all the things like it has all the features of what made Winter Soldier good, but Winter Soldier does them better than Civil War.
Yeah.
Essentially,
yeah.
Captain America is likable in it. Bucky Rogers is likable in it. The villain is
Civil
kind of
War's
interesting.
Like,
It's got a really strong
Winter
aesthetic.
Soldier's just like sick and like dope from like straight up.
It's
Like, as soon as it starts on that boat.
It's basically a lit Marvel Bond movie.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, you can't have an issue with it.
No.
Ragnarok. Civil War was during that awful period of superhero v superhero with that Batman Superman shite in the same year. Yeah. Civil War's fucking awful. It wasn't awful. It was good. It's good. Civil War's good. It's
Yeah.
not great, but it's good.
It's better than Age of Ultron
Yeah.
and Iron Man 1 apparently.
Yeah.
According to our tiers.
According to Arte, it's definitive. Ragnarok in S makes me happy. I drank a whole bottle of Pinot Grigio in the cinema. when I
Winter
watched
Soldier
it.
has the fittest Black Widow. Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 has like the most
Iron Man.
director of Transformers Black Widow. Like,
It's the most John Favreau as
it's
well.
the most John Favreau, yeah. Captain America,
What's this one?
that's the first Avenger, the first Captain America
Oh.
film. Duh.
Yeah, I would say yeah. D.
Yeah.
D.
Yeah.
Straight up D.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
straight up D. It's not. I'm trying to think of it as.
I'm all weedy, but I've always wanted to be in the
Military.
We got a special drug, kid.
Yeah, so it's a shame because Red Skull, the guy is kind of like phoning it in.
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving's phoning that shit in.
He's not even like.
Chris Hemsworth, like they don't know how to make Captain America an interesting or likable character yet. Because
Yeah.
he's just like an American guy.
They still, yeah.
He's just like an American
He's
guy.
the American man.
Yeah, and they play into that a bit. I kind of like the only thing that I like about it is them recreating like the comic book art covers whilst he's doing like these like theater tours where he's
Yeah.
sort of like playing a fake Captain America.
I really
Do you remember that?
I've always wanted to re-edit Captain America with the soundtrack of Team America, like the first one.
America, fuck yeah. Yeah, it does just feel a bit weird ultimately. Yeah.
It is weird. It's not even like a cool like Nazi World War II movie. It's like
No, which it should have been.
it's kind of like I don't know, like X-Men.
Yeah, it's very toned down. It's very like the only thing I do like is like
Sapia.
it's very sapia. Yeah, very sapia. Overall, like Captain America has one of the weirdest like trilogies of films.
I
Really,
know, yeah.
First Avenger, Winter Soldier, and Civil War. Because like Captain America only becomes interesting once he's out of his time frame.
He's
really.
out of rehab.
When he's out of rehab. When he's off the roids.
Well, he's just like an honourable man.
Yeah.
That's his whole character is that he's like a really good person.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is why like in Winter Soldier is clever because they reverse.
Yeah, because it's like him doing the honourable thing, and that's why I think we put Civil War highly up there. Well, not high, but like mid tier, because it's like at least Civil War is actually like, you know, the conflict between the two characters like makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it, and it's enough to keep the film going.
Yeah, it's a strong fight
And
of
they-
ideology
yeah.
that plays out well and satisfyingly. It does, I like looking at it, I'm like, because that's the one I've seen. I haven't seen the latest. Like, I haven't seen that Civil War, the most recent. It's made me like interested in rewatching it.
Well, maybe we'll do it, man.
Maybe we will.
Watch it and then watch Sonic.
Yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
2. This is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh yeah, which one do we like more?
Should we do first? Yeah.
First one, I would put the first one probably there, I think, or there.
I think it's better than both. Yeah,
You put it there.
I'd put it there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's better than. I'd prefer to watch it than like Avengers: Infinity War or Endgame. I think it's better made.
Yeah, and then I don't know. With 2, it's either there or there for me. because it is pretty sick.
It's lit. It's pretty lit.
I think it's there.
You mean
I
bottom
think
of
it's
S tier?
Yeah, I think it's S tier.
Is it that much better than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1?
I think it is. Because I don't like the ending of Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yeah. I can agree with this. I like this.
Yeah.
I like this.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Hang on, well, do you want to like define why we put them in those lists?
Everyone likes Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, not necessarily. People might be mad at us. Hello, Hilma, Storm Blessed. It's
I
nice
don't
to
care
meet
for
you.
Yandu and his abusive dad shtick.
See? Problems with it. You gotta win the people over.
Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is, in my opinion, a really good movie in terms of its like team dynamics and its comedy and its visual storytelling and its world building. However, I feel that the first one narratively is very basic, and the conflict of the film is as well a little bit.
It's a bit
It's
like
like
good.
a
It's just good
MacGuffin-y.
versus evil, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's
It's
MacGuffin-y.
It's your standard good versus
It's like
evil.
they've got to get the device or stop
Yeah.
the guy, and it's just a bit dull, and especially at the end when they save it by singing, all right, or they hold hands.
They hold hands and unify as
Yeah.
a team.
Yeah, and I think the whole thing with the whole Star-Lord. I think Star-Lord in the first one is a little bit grating on me.
Yes, because I think because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 they start to challenge like his kind of like the stereotypes that he was showcasing in the first film and deconstructed them a bit
And
more.
also,
I mean, I agree with you. I think like Guardians of the
because
Galaxy Volume 2 is way sicker. To be real.
and I think that Guardians of the Galaxy works in terms of its team members or like kind of working together and being friends and knowing each other. And I think in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when they've got those relationships, it makes the whole
they're
thing
settled
strong.
into them.
They're more like a family.
Yeah, and it has the best. It has way better, more memorable sequences as well. Like the rocket action sequence in the woods where he takes down the entire army like single-handedly is paying. Like Gamora and her sister like duking it out on the planet like in the wilderness is fucking sick. Where she's like grabbing guns off the ship and shooting it with it like proper comic book. Like
the
being
the remote control bot are like spaceships that are all flying after them, and
And
it's
it's-
like people playing a video game.
And that's mad. And then the
and
ending.
they're all painted gold, aren't they?
Yeah, and the ending is so much more tonally kind of like uncomfortable because it's about like Star Lord's dad who has been impregnating women all over the universe and wants to like settle his seed and take over. It's got like these really overt like sexual connotations, which like I think is really well suited to like the humor of Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyway, it just takes everything a bit further, but it always stays grounded in its characters and in their relationships ultimately, right?
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think as well that the kind of like relationship aspect with him and Gamora is pretty fun as well, and like Baby Groot as well is quite fun.
Baby Groot,
and I think there's very little in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 that I dislike. The whole like Yondu thing, like the fact that he's got the arrow that he's like controlling with his mind, and that sequence as the arrow just comes in and like wrecks everyone.
Not only that, but like almost everybody's relationship in Marvel is probably going to be in some way slightly abusive. Like I feel like Tony Stark's relationship with Gwyneth Paltrow is probably could be considered quite abusive.
And so is also his relationship with his own father.
Yeah. So I think everyone has like in a world where there are huge aliens who can click their fingers and erase half the population, like relationships are going to be more extreme.
And also,
right?
to be real as well, if you come from an abusive family, you either have a choice when you're an adult to refuse to speak to that person and shut your life from them, which you are entitled to do, or forgive them and engage with them.
Learn to love them.
Yeah. It's a tough one though. I'm not saying forgive your abusers by any means, even though it sounds like I just said that. But I mean, I think
something to think about.
I think it's something to think about. The whole you have an issue with it, and a lot of his friends might have had an issue with it. It's not saying it's he should have done that or it's the right thing to do. Right, but it was about fatherhood and understanding your family.
Yeah, and it's about connecting to people and understanding what love,
yeah.
Love is, and like the people who really care about you, things like that. I think it's a sick film. I think it looks better. I think it plays better.
It feels better.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 S tier. The soundtrack is as good, if not better.
S tier.
Come on, you know we're right. Get in. Join us.
Get in.
Just agree with us.
Come on. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Well, let's do Ant-Man 1 first.
Alright, Ant-Man 1, I would put...
Your chaotic approach makes me so uneasy sometimes.
I would put it around...
I'd put it above Hulk, Doctor Strange, Iron Man 2, and Iron Man 3.
Maybe actually. Maybe somewhere around here.
I think Age of Ultron's probably better than Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Although if I'm gauging by kind of like originality within the Marvel universe, I think Ant-Man probably has more original merits over Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Ant-Man's ain't bad.
It's not bad. It's
Nah.
entertaining. It's like most Marvel movies, as you can see here. It's very middle of the road, really.
This
it's
whole
fine.
section is just. We exist.
Ant-Man 1 has a lot of things to like about it, I think, though. Like, it's basically like a funky, weird Marvel heist movie.
I don't know if I've ever even finished Ant-Man 1.
You haven't, no.
No.
As an avid fan of Ocean's 11, I appreciate that. A heist movie where you can shrink things is just fun. Comedic scenes sometimes work. The guy playing Ant-Man is charming. Other than that, there's
Break
nothing.
it down.
There's not, yeah. Other than that, there's not really much going for it.
The colours are stimulating.
Well, it's not even that. It's kind of
the
grayed
colours
out.
are greyed and dulled out.
Yeah,
The characters are pretty tropey.
The characters are pretty tropey.
If Edgar Wright-
So the one thing I like is the guy going around. The villain does go around with a little ray gun that shrinks people.
Oh yeah, and
like
he
a
puts them into a
globular
little. Yeah,
Yeah.
he crushes them.
I think that's fun. So I think there's lots of fun ideas, and I think that would always come naturally with Ant-Man. And I think that puts it apart from like the really generic ones. It's a bit more unique.
Yeah.
But it is ultimately still kind of like bland, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's low budget as well. It feels a bit low budget.
Cheap.
If Edgar Wright directed it, it'd probably be S. Probably be up here, be at the top. But
Yeah, and the sequences where he's running around as a little guy are good.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. I would put this probably there. Is where I would personally put Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I agree with you.
Yeah!
I agree. Let's put Ant-Man and the Wasp in low B. I think
Underrated.
That's right. Underrated Marvel movie.
The most underrated Marvel film, Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's just way better in every way than Ant-Man 1, and like the sequences are truly like Terminator 2 level quality in terms of the action.
Yeah.
It's just got so much fun.
So
like,
in this one,
elements to it.
Yeah, in this one, I think like this is where you get Ant-Man's character, the main guy, who's played by what's his name?
Brent Whishaw.
Yeah, Brent Whishaw, who plays Ant-Man in Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is where they really start developing like his character's relationship with his daughter, and I think therefore you get more depth from him as a character. There's that fucking meme the whole way through with the FBI agent who's just like really kind and like understanding to him. all the time,
that's so funny.
which is just
that
like
cracked me up so much.
Yeah, because they send an FBI agent after Ant-Man, and you see him racking up in the cars, and you're probably like, okay, here we go, we got another FBI agent, and then he's like a really friendly, like nice guy, who's really like empathetic towards him. So that's really good. The daughter's like performed really well. The themes of fatherhood are really nicely like present. The relationship between Wasp and Ant-Man feels like more convincing. There's more sequences.
And the way they work together as well.
Yeah, exactly. The way because now that she has the suit, those action sequences where they're complementing each other really enforce their relationship.
Who's the villain in it?
The villain is like Ghost, the girl who can go through that technology.
That's cool.
Yeah, and she was like, and it's like she's a sick girl, and it's played by the guy who played Morpheus, I swear.
Yeah,
Orpheus.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne's in it, playing the villain. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe it's just because when I went into it, I don't know if you'd seen it before. Or did you watch it the first time with me?
Yeah.
When we saw it, like our expectations were really low because all the reviews said it was like the worst film ever.
And everyone said it was naff.
But we were just really excited by it. So guys, what do you think? What are you most angry about? Like, Paul Rudd was his name.
Paul Rudd, yeah, that's right.
I knew it was Paul.
Paul Rudd is like much more charming in this film for sure.
That's a turtleneck. I thought it was a cone to stop him chewing his stitches. It's my Christmas jumper.
Yeah, he's in a Christmassy mood. Sam sometimes just likes to run around and pretend it's Christmas.
The fact that you like Iron Man 2. Alright, that's what makes you mad. Right, okay, what other tier lists have we got?